How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a great day, because today we have the story of probably one of the most spoiled kids ever. So sit back, relax, maybe get comfortable, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we're gonna just jump right into it and call the subscriber Andrew. So this all happened when Andrew was about in I think 5th grade or so, and there was a new kid who moved into his neighborhood. And this was over the summer, so Andrew has not met this kid yet, as he would probably meet him next year or when school started in the fall. But the new kid's mom got on Facebook and connected with all the other Facebook moms in the neighborhood and was kind of just reaching out to them, being like, hey, you know, my son is new to the neighborhood. He's going to be starting school in the fall, and I really want him to have a good time. Can he meet some of you guys or whatever? So one night, one summer night or whatever, Andrew's mom arranged that Andrew and her would go over to the new kid's house, and so Andrew can meet the new kid and they can become friendly before school starts, and also so Andrew can meet the mom as well. Anyway, so that night, rolls around, and, they get into the car and they drive over, and, Andrew is talking to his mom. He's like, Mom, I don't think I've ever been to this part of the neighborhood. And Mom's like, well, this is a very special part of the neighborhood, as they approach a gate. Basically, this was the gated community part. And a lot of times, gated communities are kind of places in neighborhoods that are protected by a gate that goes all around them, and it normally costs a lot of money, and the houses in there are a lot of people enter the gated communities just because they have a lot of money and they don't want people coming in or whatever. So this is the first time Andrew has ever been to this part, and he's like, wow, I've never been to a place like this. And Andrew's mom is like, yeah, Andrew, it's probably gonna be a pretty nice house too, so have fun over there or whatever. So they get to the gate, and Andrew calls up Ben. That is the name, but if we're doing names, Ben is the name of the spoiled kid who lives at this house. Andrew's mom calls up Ben's mom, and Ben's mom's like, oh yes, the code for us is 4772 or something like that. So she enters that in, the gate opens up, they go through, and they're going down, and Andrew's just looking out the window at all of these spectacular houses. And it's just oh my God, I never knew that this part of the neighborhood actually existed. So eventually they pull up to Ben's house, and it is a wonderful house. It is obviously a quite expensive house too. They pull up, they pull into the driveway, they get out. Andrew and Andrew's mom walk up, and Andrew's like, oh my God, this house is insane. And Andrew's mom's like, I know, but don't say anything like that when you get there. And Andrew's like, I know, Mom. They get up, they knock on the door, and Ben's mom greets it. It's like, oh my God, hello there, guys. You know how moms greet each other. Hello. And Andrew's mom's like, hi there, and gives a little hug or whatever. And, Ben's mom's like, well, Ben is upstairs. I told him to come down, but he's in the middle of one of those video games. You know how it is. And they both laugh, and Andrew's like, what? And Ben's mom's like, well, Andrew, just run up there. Run up into Ben's room. He'll say hello. So, Andrew's like, all right. Andrew goes up the stairs, knocks on the door. It's like, yo, what's up? And you could hear Ben be like, go away, Mom. And Andrew's like, hey, it's not your mom. And you just hear a silence. And then you hear, open the door. And so, Andrew opens the door, walks in, and Ben is in the middle of I don't know, a Fortnite game or something. He's playing some game, and he's completely occupied. He's like, hello there, what was your name? Andrew's like, Andrew? Andrew, hello. I'm pretty busy right now, so feel free to just take a seat on my bed. Actually, no, can you stand? If you stand, is that okay? Andrew's like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine, I guess. And so Ben is just going away, playing his Fortnite or whatever, and Andrew can hear the two moms downstairs laughing at something that probably wasn't that funny that the other one said, but you already know how it goes. But anyways, eventually, Ben, he loses. He's like, boom, slams his fist on the table. He's like, God damn it. And he turns around. He's like, yo, what's up? Hey, sorry. Weird introduction. My name's Ben. What's your name? And Andrew's like, I just said that, but he doesn't say that. He's like, my name's Andrew. And then Ben's like, well, don't expect me to remember that. I might have to ask again. And Andrew in his head is like, dude, well, I'm coming to your house because you wanted to meet people. Are you serious? But anyways, right? Andrew just kind of bites his tongue and is like, all right, whatever. So, and Andrew's like, so, what do you like to do? And, Ben's like, I don't know. I like to play Fortnite. I like to take my parents' cars for a spin. What cars do your parents have? And Ben's like, oh, no, don't even tell me. Let's go to the window now. So Ben leads him to a window that looks outside, that like looks out at the cars, because he's looking at the car that was parked. And Ben is like, oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. I don't even know what kind of car that is. And trust me, if it was a nice car, I would have known. And Andrew in his head is like, oh my God, this kid probably had to leave the old place he was living because he burned all the bridges with anyone he could have been friends with. Oh my God. And Andrew's like, well, yeah, it works. It's a car. It got me from my house to here, so it functions. And Ben's like, well, I guess kind of. I'm surprised it isn't falling apart right now. Like, when's the last time you got that checked for, like, raccoons living in there? Oh, my God. And Andrew's just, like, looking at him like, what? And Ben's like, come here. They walk downstairs, and Andrew and Ben's mom's like, oh, look at those two. They're already becoming such great friends. No, they weren't. But anyways, right, Ben leads them out, and he's like, all right, man, come over here. He brings them to, like, behind, like, the backyard of his house, and it's a pretty crazy house. Like, there's a massive backyard, and then there's this garage, and it's a car garage. So Ben's like, take a look at this, and he takes out this, like, clicker, and he clicks it, and then, like, this garage door starts to open, and there are 4 freaking cars back there. And it's, like, Mercedes S-Class, Aston Martin. It's, like, the fanciest freaking cars on planet Earth. And Ben's like, look at these babies, like, these are insane. These are all my dad's cars. Like, my mom has this, like, stupid G-Wagon or whatever. But these cars, these are how you get all the women, bro. And Andrew's like, okay. And Ben's like, yeah, these cars go for at least $200,000 each at auction. Unlike most cars that depreciate and fall apart, these actually aged like fine wine. I don't know how, but that's what my dad said. And Andrew's like, Andrew, do not beat this kid up. Do not beat him up. He deserves a punch in the face, but don't do it. Don't do it, Andrew. Don't do it. And Andrew's like, so, cool. And Ben's like, of course it's cool. It's awesome. My cars are awesome. There's not even a question. There's not even a doubt in my mind that they are the best cars ever. Oh, want to take a look at your car again? And Andrew's like, nah, I think we took a good enough look. Anything else you want to do? And Ben's like, I don't know. Let's just go back upstairs, I guess. So they walk back upstairs, and Andrew, as he's passing his mom, Andrew's mom looks over, and Andrew makes this face of like kind of like, does that, like, you know, that, like, you take your hand, you kind of, like, make a quick movement next to your neck, like, nah, like, this is not good, bro. And Andrew's mom kind of gives him this look of, like, keep going, like, doesn't matter, let's shut up. And Andrew's like, okay, fine, I'm not getting saved from this, I just got to deal with this kid. So anyways, Ben's like, so do you want to see my 3rd floor? And Andrew's like, you have a 3rd floor to your house? He's like, yeah, we actually have a 4th floor too, but let me show you the 3rd floor of the house. And he opens it, he goes up these stairs, and they walk up, and it is the most insane thing ever. Every game, every toy, everything is on that floor. It is the most insane thing ever. There's air hockey, there's a boat, like a mini bowling thing, there's a mini golf thing. It is ridiculous. And Andrew's like, oh my God, dude, this is insane. And Ben's like, I don't know, my last house was actually even cooler. This is such a downgrade. Like, this honestly sucks. This sucks so bad. I don't know why I'm showing it to you. Maybe so that you could pity me or something. And Andrew's like, pity you? Like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, I love air hockey. And he starts, like, going on there and turns it on, starts beating it. And Ben's like, turn that off. And Andrew's like, okay. Ben's like, sorry, I just don't want it to get scratched up. And in Andrew's head, he's like, you don't want your air hockey set to get scratched up. You don't want to use the toy that's fun. The only reason this is fun is if you use it. But whatever, right? Anyways, Andrew's like, okay, fine. It's his house. It's his rules, whatever. Sure enough, they walk around, and this is when, Ben is like, so, did I ever show you my watch collection? Oh, by the way, what watch are you wearing? And he looks at Andrew's wrist, and bro, Andrew wasn't wearing a watch. And Ben's like, oh, that's so sad. Okay, come with me. And once again, Andrew in his head is like, Andrew, don't punch this guy in the face. This guy probably has fancy lawyers, and you will be even more broke than you are now. Andrew, for the love of God, do not punch this guy in the face. I know you want to, but for the love of God, he will take all the money from you and buy another stupid watch. And so they walk over, and, Ben's like, so, you see this one? This one I got for my 13th birthday, a Rolex. And Andrew's like, okay, that's nice. 13-year-old kid with a Rolex, that's normal. And he's like, and this is and then goes on and says other fancy watches. And Andrew doesn't know. Andrew knows what a Rolex is because they advertise everywhere and they're known for being fancy. Then he lists off a bunch of other watches. And Ben's like, do you know what this watch is? And he lifts it up and Andrew's like, no. And Ben's like, uncultured, kind of says that under his breath. And Andrew's like, Andrew, do not smack this kid in the face. Andrew, I know you want to do it. I know you want to give him a clean sock in the face, but you just can't do it, man. Just can't do it. And Ben's like, yeah, man, that's crazy. You don't know what this is. Anyways, this one is the most expensive one so far. Do you want to look at it? Do you want to touch it? Andrew's like, I guess. And Ben's like, false. You do not want to touch it. Wrong. If you touch it, it would just fall apart. The value would just go down to 0 if you touched it. And Andrew then says, well, I mean, you're touching it right now. And Ben's like, yeah, it doesn't matter if I touch it, but if you touch it, the value goes to 0. And Andrew's like, Andrew, don't punch this kid in the face. Whatever you do, I know you want to. I know you got a clean shot right now to just sock him in the face, but don't do it, Andrew. Don't do it. Do it for me, buddy. Do it for me. You don't want to lose. You don't want to make this kid buy another car with your money that's going to be taken from your mother. Don't punch him in the face. He's got fancy lawyers. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment spoil down below. I just want to see how many people made it this far, and I want to see the names and faces of the people who do. I'll try and heart a bunch of comments that say the secret word of the day. Don't take it personally if I don't get to your comment. And if you want to support the channel even more than you already have by making it this far, which thank you, watch time is super important. If you can go ahead and binge watch these videos, meaning sit down and watch like 2, 3, 4, plus even more videos in one sitting. If you do that, go in the comment section and comment down below either how many videos you've watched or what you're doing while you're watching them, such as like playing video games, trying to go to sleep, or if you're like putting on a playlist in the background or something. Whatever you're doing, let me know, and so I can heart it, say thank you, and also shout out someone like this person on screen right now, shouting out people who tell me how they're supporting in videos. Anyways, let's get right back to it. So this point, right, Andrew is just like, Andrew, man, please, you gotta hold it together for your mother, your beautiful mother. Don't punch him in the face for your beautiful mother, man. And anyways, you know, he's saved by the bell because he hears this kind of ding noise, and Ben's like, whatever. And, you know, Andrew's like, dude, what was that bell noise? He's like, that just means dinner's ready, or probably not even dinner, probably just our, you know, our entrees or whatever. And Andrew's like, what? Because Andrew's just like, used to his mom being like, dinner. He walks down, it's like mac and cheese, and he's done. So they walk down there, right? And they see Andrew and Ben's mom already sitting at the table. And they sit down, and this like guy comes out. And that's when Andrew realizes that they have a freaking personal chef, bro. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And he comes out, he's like, today we will be having beef Wellington. And bro, I swear to God, dude, I don't know about you, but the food name beef Wellington makes me think of like, oh wow, yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, of course, of all the meals they're gonna be having, it would have either been like gold leafed sirloin steak or it would have been freaking beef Wellington. And literally when the guy says beef Wellington, Ben goes, oh, I had that last week. And Andrew's mom and Andrew just make eye contact, and she kind of looks at him and gives him a look of like, chill, Andrew. And Andrew's like, my fist belongs on his face. Oh my God. Anyways, though, so they sit down and they start eating it. And it's so freaking good. It is so good, at least according to Andrew, right? Andrew's just devouring it. He's like, oh my God, where can we get some beef Wellington at home? But Ben looks at it and kind of takes a little sniff of it and like cuts a little bit, puts it in his mouth. He goes, "Bleh, this is worse than last week's." And the personal chef comes around and be like, sir, how can I fix this for you? And Andrew is starting to get really angry. He's like, this kid is literally the worst person on planet Earth. But anyways, I mean, there's only so much you can do at that point. There really isn't that much you can do. And Andrew's like, if I punch him in the face, it's going to be really bad. He's got fancy lawyers. And, you know, Ben's like, whatever, I'll starve. And the chef's like, no, please, let me get you something. And Ben's like, no. You had one shot, one opportunity, you blew it. And so the chef took it away. Andrew finishes it. And Andrew actually like stops the chef and says, hey, I'll take that. And the chef's like, all right. So the chef gives him, like, Ben doesn't see it, but Andrew takes Ben's plate with like one bite into it and just immediately devours it as well. And eventually, right in between that and like their dessert, you know, Ben's mom is like, so I'm so excited that you two are getting along. That's so nice. You know, how about, Ben, how about we go around, we talk about, like, our highs and our lows. Let's do rose and thorn. Tell me what was a good thing, that's the rose, and tell me what is a bad thing, that's the thorn. Ben, do you want to go first? And Ben's like, fine. I guess the rose was the fact that I get to go to bed every night. Sleeping is so cool. But I guess my thorn's actually a lot of things. Let me take a second. Oh, whoa. I know exactly what my thorn is. You know that new kid, that stupid kid, Mom? And, like, Ben's mom's like, what, honey? He's like, yeah, you know that stupid kid that you had me hang out with yesterday? He totally was not respecting my authority. He did not understand that I was this intrinsically a better person than he was. And Andrew at this point was like, what the fuck? What? Intrinsically a better person than you are? Bro, what are you saying? And then Ben goes on to go completely mask off. And he's like, yeah, you know how, like, the whole, that kid didn't have any money? And Ben's mom's like, Ben, I think it's time to elaborate on your rose. I think we've heard enough of your thorn. Trying to cover up the fact that her son is a complete lunatic, a maniac, freakazoid, right? And Ben goes like, well, no, let me finish my thorn. Yes, this kid, he didn't understand that, like, when I told him to give me a foot massage and I'd give him, like, $5, because that'd be more money than he'd ever seen in his entire life or something, he, like, totally flipped out. And then I went on to tell him that, like, we live in a society, like, the caste system. I was learning about that in history and how, like, he's the peasant and I'm the king in this society. And that, you know, the dynamics, right, the dynamics between the peasant and the king were not really being reflected in the way that he was talking back to me, Mom. To me. And at this point, Andrew's like, is this staring at his mom? Just staring at his mom. And Andrew's mom kind of, like, gives him, like, a kick under the table. Because, like, Andrew was like, bro, I gotta say something, man. I gotta say something, bro. Like, I can't let this go on. And Ben's mom is looking mortified. Because while she lives in a bubble, she also understands what is not polite conversation. And one could say that this was not polite conversation. You know what I mean? And Ben goes and be like, yeah, dude, this is like, it was ridiculous. It was insane. I mean, I offered him 5 whole American dollars for a foot massage. It was crazy. And he said no. And he got all upset or something. And, you know, I tried to, like, shove my foot in his face anyways. And that made him more mad. I was literally giving him a second chance to respect the kings of his society. I mean, Mom, he's literally a peasant. I mean, did you see his whip? He's a peasant, Mom. At this point, Andrew's like, what? How do you not expect me to punch this guy in the face? By the way, little disclaimer, don't punch anyone in the face, even if they deserve it. It's a bad idea. This kid, maybe this kid, but in general, no, I don't condone violence. Off the record, maybe this kid, but anyways, back on the record. And Ben is just like, anyways, right? So, Andrew, what was your rose and thorn? Actually, I don't really care. Mom, this game sucks. What's the next thing we can talk about? And Ben's mom is, like, mortified once again. And Ben's mom's like turns to Andrew, and Andrew's mom's like, isn't Ben so funny? He's like a comedian or something. He's really funny. And Andrew's mom's like, yeah. And Ben then goes on, completely destroys whatever his mom was trying to do. And he's like, what do you mean I'm funny, Mom? None of that was a joke. You know that. You know what we talk about behind the scenes. Do they not know, like, what this is? And Andrew's mom's like, what do you mean what this is? And, you know, Ben's like, well, I mean, you know, the whole society thing, like, you guys are lesser than us. We just wanted to, like, I don't know. It just looks good. Like, it's like a charity thing when we hang out with the lessers. And Andrew turns to his mom and says, he's like, dude, he just called us the lessers. And Andrew's mom's like, shut up, Andrew, give me a second. Andrew's mom's like, what? And Ben's mom looks at Ben and is like, shut up, Ben. And Ben's like, what? I'm just saying it how it is. I'm just being real, Mom. What's that whole thing about, like, being real and always being honest with each other? Well, I'm always being honest with everyone. And he looks at Andrew and his mom and he's like, yeah, you know what? You guys are a charity case. We're trying to find a new charity case, right? We're trying to find a new charity case. And when I saw your car roll in, I knew for a fact that you were a perfect charity case. And Andrew's mom looks at her watch. It's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We have a thing at 6:48. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. We're so late right now. We have a thing at 6:48. Yeah, it's 6:48 at night. On that moment, I'm so sorry. We gotta go. Andrew's mom picks up Andrew. Andrew in his head's like, yes, escape. And they walk out. And Ben's mom, I hope to see you. Oh, I'm so sorry you had to cut this short. Also, Ben is being so funny today. Gives him a punch. And he's like, ow, Mom, why'd you punch me? And she's like, oh, he's so funny. I hope to see you guys soon. And Andrew's mom turns around and is like, yes, goodbye now. And they both walk out. They get into the car. And Andrew's like, do you think that if we stayed there long enough that they were going to, like, I don't know, put us in camouflage and then try and hunt us or something? Like, bro, that was insane. And Andrew's mom's like, you know what? I've never met anyone in my life like that. And we will not be seeing Ben again. And Andrew, you better stay away from Ben. Andrew's like, well, yeah, because if I was near him again, he'd be punched in the face. Andrew's mom's like, don't punch anyone in the face. I mean, okay, that kid is fancy lawyers. Don't do it,
Click on
Andrew.
the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.